Oh my God.
You look so beautiful. Sorry. How are you?
Great to see you guys. Yeah. These are our pets.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I was going to ask you guys, do they have names?
I know we had a line where we go, she's not going to be happy about that. So we know that.
She's a she.
Yeah,
Hydra is a she.
Hydra's a
Oh,
female,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
At least in our.
That's a new line
I don't know
reading
how
for
it was
me.
for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I am like so blown away by your performance.
Thank you.
I'm watching you and I'm like, how does this human being exist? Because you are an amazing singer.
I will find my way. I can go the distance.
I mean, just so beautiful.
Oh, wow,
You're an
thank you.
incredible actor.
Thank you.
I was so moved by your performance.
I need your help. I want to become a true hero.
You can dance lights out. I mean, you're so much fun to watch dance.
Thank you.
And then you're
thank
doing
you.
all these stunts.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
much, so exciting.
I was, as an older actor, I was like worried about you. I was like, be careful with the sword.
Right.
You know, like I was totally. And then you're ripped. You're like, look at you. You look like Hercules. I'm like,
I think what happened was, because I know you've been working for Disney Cruise Line for a while.
Yeah, for a
I
little
think
bit,
they probably met you and they're like, we can finally do Hercules. Okay, we've been working on Hercules. We finally found the guy. Yeah.
No, I love to think that. I would be honored to think that. But I mean, just even being a part of this production and this story is such a dream come true. And I mean, we have people like you who did the original.
Aren't you a damsel in distress?
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress. I can handle this. Have a nice day.
And have brought these characters to life. So it's an honor, I know, for Eleni and I to uphold that.
but we just had to jump around in front of a microphone.
We
I
do.
know.
Yeah.
You actually have to live it.
In the show, I feel like you're all getting 25,000 steps like during the show.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
it's so it's a
Nonstop.
roller coaster ride. It is nonstop pacing and energy
Yeah,
and
it is.
special effects. I
Yeah.
feel like this has more props and puppets than any other show on the Disney Cruise Line.
The most technical show on the entire fleet, and
It seems incredible.
yeah, as soon as we got on the stage and put everything together, that's when the show like really came to life. You know, we were in Toronto and Corey was fighting like one Hydra head and we had to use our imagination. But once you put all the effects and lighting and the costume pieces all together, it's surreal.
It's truly a spectacle.
Yeah,
you know,
it
it's such a, I mean, you can do so much with, animation, but to take that and to bring that same feel to the stage and in live, it takes such a good team of people, and we've been lucky to have that.
Animation can do amazing things, incredible things. But the one thing that the show does, which I found really profound, was when you sing Go the Distance.
I will beat the odds. I can go the distance.
We're in the same room together, and there's something about that where I was just hooked into your character, into your journey. And I've just felt it so much more. You can only get that in the theater.
Yeah, I think that is the
You know?
magic of theater, of like we're all sharing space, and it takes us back to, ancient Greece where theater all started and storytelling and, and us gathering together as human beings to tell this story. I remember I was so lucky that I got to be in the room when the Muses were recording because we were recording I Won't Say on the same day. So I'm just sitting there for like 3-4 hours with the director, Alan, the producer, and like there were 5 of us listening to these women blow the roof off, and I was thinking, nobody's going to get to hear this live. Like a recording is okay.
Yeah.
Now it's like now the show is living and breathing every day, and people get to be in the room and hear this music. And what was it like developing it?
Yeah.
You were saying a lot of changes, or
I mean, with any
Any new build,
right?
there are always changes. And Bradley Knight, who made beautiful new arrangements of the music that we know and love, just really took it to the next level. And I remember our first music rehearsal, we were all sitting around and listening to the recording. We were like, whoa, we're going to do this. And Corey's voice is like unmatched in this score. And
as is yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm taking so much inspiration from you because you are the blueprint of Megra.
Bad influence.
No, it's been so beautiful from the start to finish. And I don't know, each night that we perform it, I feel like we find new little moments, or Corey and I are like, want to try this? And Bradley has been so amazing in letting us be flexible and bringing our own style into the music, and it's been awesome.
I've got so many questions for you guys.
I have so many questions for you.
I know.
When you got the roles, you're like, did you want to be like our performances, or how do you make it your own?
I mean, obviously I watched the film, so I was really familiar with it. And what I got from it was to tell your own story, and that's what Hercules does. Shines a light on authenticity, on being who you are even when everyone else tells you no. And I've definitely related to that. Once we got to Toronto and we met the team and we started working with everyone and said, don't be afraid to let us see you through this and tell this story. That was kind of the doors opened after that point. We're just like, okay, well, if they want to see me, then I know that this character can be rooted in honesty, rooted in truth, in my truth. And hopefully that is a reflection on the audience. The audience can see themselves. I saw myself most definitely in the character. And so, that was kind of my, where I started, and then once we built it more, I discovered things about myself that I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for this process. Awesome. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, Megara is a character we all know and love, and we kind of see her as this diva, but she's so much more deeply rooted than that. And I just wanted to strip her down. She's not just this sassy woman. There's so much depth behind all this beauty. That's sort of how I went about my process, and listening to the music that just it feels so good to sing too. So
kudos to Alan Menken. It does feel good to sing. I've never heard another singer saying that, but it's like a massage for your vocal cord. His music feels so good to sing.
And even the quality in her voice, it's it grounds me. I speak a little bit higher on my voice in general, but once Megara's here, she lives in a deep chesty, and it just you can't help but to ground yourself in that, and that helps me,
I love
portraying her.
That the audiences get to know more about the characters because now you are embodying them. They got a little bit 1.0. And now it's 2.0, and I get to learn a little bit more, which is really exciting. We get to delve deeper and learn more about her past.
If I can ask, how was it for you guys making, or originating these roles and these characters? I mean, was it?
How did you?
I mean, I know how we're feeling about it. So, were there those same feelings there?
Well, it's fascinating because you get to rehearse and you spend months in developing the thing, and we would show up.
Any of that?
They'd show us. We never saw each other. We've both done a lot of theater, but
it's not that process.
It's not that process at all. You're alone in a booth with a microphone, and the directors are like, okay, so Hercules is fighting this thing, and he's in a river. Here's a glass of water. If you want to, put that in your voice, and. Yeah, we're just sort of laughing because.
Oh my gosh! Well, you're so foolish. I mean, you have to get over that immediately and just lean into it, embrace it. But we only had 1 or 2 sessions together.
Oh
by yourself.
We sort of luckily knew each other a little bit before, and they just one day they put us together, or maybe 2 times they put us together in a booth, and we improvised all these crazy great lines, which they didn't really use a lot of.
They should have.
Yeah, I know.
So it's there really wasn't a lot of development in that sense. You're really leaning on. I mean, I feel like the animators are living with those characters day in, day out. They're the ones lifting the eyebrow and getting the laugh.
Megara. My friends call me Meg. At least they would if I had any friends.
They videotaped us.
They do.
Okay.
So,
the mannerisms are there.
Yeah, so you're sort of they catch how you use your eyes and stuff like that. But also, we would just do a couple scenes at a time, and then a couple months later, we okay, can you show up at Disney? And we're like, what's going on? And you never think of what's the arc of my character? You know what I mean? You're just sort of giving them clay, and then they are molding it all. And then you go to the premiere, and you're like,
oh my God.
It's so good. I mean,
coming over the period of 18 months or 2 years even.
Oh wow.
So we would see the development of from the initial just thumbnail sketches to actual black and white animation to actual colored animation, and you just realize it's a Disney animated feature.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
immediately immortalized in a way that we aren't
And it was
on Broadway
mostly
because like
old
it's gone
school.
at 11 at
Right.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all over.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so happy to see it, from the film now, to the stage
Yeah.
here on the Disney Destiny. And then like really quick, just touching on the music, we have Shooting Star
I love the Shooting Stars.
originally written,
It's a duet.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, thank God. They have to have a duet.
So many people are like, we want the Herc and Meg duet.
Development originally,
Yeah.
and now they've added it in, which is
Oh,
great.
yeah. That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
happy it can, found a home.
Yes,
I know they took it out of the archives. But yeah, and I love singing. It's probably one of my favorite songs to sing.
It's
in the
my
show.
favorite as
Again,
well.
like I said, it's like we're getting to know your inner life in a
Yeah.
way that we didn't get
Yeah.
time to develop that. You know,
Yeah, and
that-
we had so many conversations with our writer Sarah Wordsworth about what this duet is, and because 1 hour production, things kind of have to move quite quickly. So we have a little scene beforehand that shows a little bit of Megra unlocking her vulnerability, and then it's like, do they fall in love at the end of the song, or do they just find a relationship, a connection? Like I see myself in you, and not so much I think I'm in love with you. But naturally, then she's like, I won't say that, I'm falling for him. But it was amazing diving into that song and figuring out what it means for the both of us in the relationship.
Can I ask you guys like a totally just technical question, or I don't even know.
please.
What's it like to do a show on a ship? Like what do you do all day? Or like, I mean, you have to go to the gym, right? I mean, do you get to
Have to. Funny enough, I don't go on Herc days because it's a workout enough in itself.
You're in the other show, right?
Frozen and
Yeah.
Seas the Adventure.
Yeah, so you're keeping busy every day and stuff like that, and
I mean, we have time just to rest, and get ready for our the day, the next shows we have. So it's a pretty good gig, I would say. Yeah.
it's actually like such classic actors because you're in rep. You have
you're
these
in
shows in rep.
Exactly.
It's so fun.
But like you said, like that energy of the show, like it's as if someone just like hits a remote button and it's like we're all on, because especially if the audience is just as energetic, it feeds us, and we are like, okay, we're turning it on, and it's just so fun to do this show. It's a marathon, it's a sprint, I should say, and then it's over before we know it. But
Yeah.
I carry around a little towel for Hercules sometimes.
I go through
In the drop room, I'm like,
from Nessus to the Hydra to the Titans. I'm everywhere.
nonstop.
And they're like dance and sing as well. I'm like, yes, musical theater.
I just never thought that this feature could ever be a stage show, and I was so wrong.
Yeah. Well,
They found you guys,
Yeah.
and also just the stagecraft
the
is
puppetry
is
of it
so
it's so clever
It's
and-
beautiful and clever and ingenious and like,
and
oh my
fluid.
god,
yes.
yeah.
I mean, like no scene really ends. It
Yes.
goes right into the next scene.
Yeah.
One of my
really
favorite
beautiful.
favorite scenes actually is we finish Gospel Truth, the opening, and then we go into the underworld, Hades, and that completely transforms. The whole theater transforms.
Yeah.
You were once, in the Muses reside. Yeah. And then now we're in the underworld, and it's so, I was like, I wish I could sit in the seat and watch that.
Yeah. He's great too, by the way.
my
I mean, talk about big shoes to fill. I mean, James Woods
And you're
was brilliant. Yeah, Phil, and everybody's so good.
It's such a good reimagination of just the whole show, the whole story.
Please welcome Broadway star and the voice of Megara in Disney's Hercules, the godparent of our new ship, Susan Egan.
It is a joy to be here with all of you on such a spectacular night.
I mean, I know it's such an honor for you, I mean, your stint just at Disney, how much you worked with the company, and just like all of how iconic just you are within this world.
You've been busy.
And so,
You've been busy. Yes.
Very impressive.
So I mean, I couldn't imagine a better ship, a better place,
Yeah,
than for you to, just give your blessing.
I christen thee Disney Destiny. May God bless this ship and all who sail upon her.
that was a pretty cool thing. I felt like, going from Belle, who's so kind, to Meg, who's a little, edgy. I thought like the only direction was villain. So I'm so glad to know it's godmother.
Yeah.
Right. I can still be,
Yeah.
And could I ask,
Team
because
hero.
you did Belle before Megara.
Yes.
Like, how did you get in the room for Meg?
Actually, they wouldn't let me in the room for Meg.
Really?
Yes. I guess I was so convincing as this kind-hearted heroine. No, and they finally, for me to stop asking, they finally just let me come in, and I just think they thought I was going to waste 5 minutes of their time. And what they didn't realize was that, Belle was acting and Meg is right where I live. Like, Meg is everything. And also she's likened to Barbara Stanwyck and Lauren Bacall and all these really great 1930s, 40s actresses. And I'm obsessed with those movies and the cadence of their speech. And the script was so funny. It was so great. And so I was just excited to get to do it and kind of break that Belle image a little bit. No shame on Belle. That was amazing. But I think what Belle gave me was an opportunity to understand what it's like to take sort of an animated character and try and bring it to life. And Paige O'Hara was just so lovely about it. And again, but we had different material, and you have to make it your own. And it's why I think I'm particularly thrilled to see what you do that's different and you and excited for the audience, and that this generation gets you both as Meg and Herc, and how lucky they are, and how lucky we are to get to watch. I feel like we're proud parents.
Yes. Good job, son.
Right. You saw
Yeah, there you go. You're a hero.
Measured not by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. Yes.
So, I know I speak for Lenny and I, this is such a milestone in our careers and our lives.
Absolutely.
Being able to just portray these characters, carry the torch along with us, and to do it on this ship.
It's amazing. It's so truly gorgeous. And break a leg tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you.